Good afternoon. Just when I've been walking a bit and decided to talk, it starts to rain lightly. So right now it's like tiny microscopic drops of rain. So we'll see how well we can do about this. There was a time that I was in Europe and I stood at the foot of Michelangelo's David. And the thing about the statue is why? What for? And most people look at it and they say, well, it's an athletic specimen. But that's not what it's about. What it's about is Michelangelo was capturing the moment when David had his slingshot ready and he had resolved that he was going to risk life and all eternity by taking on the giant. And that is the moment when we're tested at our best, individually, as a community, as a nation. Our best argument against the Republicans is that we are not them, but not that simple. We have ethics. We care about other people. We want to act to help people who are not just in the category of Wall Street, but they're Main Street. And they're on farms and villages across the country. And they expect us to create an environment that is safe for them, that is comfortable for them, not to pit them one against another. But you see, my party, the Democrats, it's a mixed bag. Some look at it that way. We are not them. But some mimic them perfectly. They do the dirty tricks. They do whatever it takes to win an election. They have been trained to do it that way, and they do it that way. Now let's take a bigger issue. The recent vote on the assault weapons ban. When I was on the Hill, on both sides of the Hill, and there was legislation involved, they call whipping the bill. That is to see what kind of support do we have, what amendments will get us to passage. But what is the function of a legislature to introduce a bill that narrowly passes in the House and doesn't have a chance in hell of going anywhere in the Senate? It's to divide us along lines we already know about. It's to frustrate those who don't know how Congress does not work to use these issues the way they do, and who may think, wow, we're going to do this, it's going to pass, it's going to be okay. That is as deceptive as the Republicans. And both sides disappear in some of the arcane procedures of the Hill, which really are very simple. Every bill reduces to, do I support this language? Do I support the consequences of it, including those that I may not now know will become unintended consequences? And should it be the law that binds? I have seen people on committees vote for unconstitutional provisions so they can get credit with the voters, but not give a damn that it will be declared unconstitutional, or it will be imposed and be unconstitutional, trading on the rights of individuals. So our big problem is coherent ethics in service to fair and truthful governance in respect of laws and the Constitution. We don't have that now. We have so much posturing and so little action. You might just as well go to a book club and study the Bronte sisters as for these events to have any effect on our goodwill and success as a republic. Now, a big question I have is, people are talking about the environment more, and that's good. But again, are we going to do anything? And here's a couple of thoughts I have. Let's go south of the equator to Brazil. What we have going on down there is the deforestation of these vast forests that take carbon dioxide and turn it into O2, into oxygen, air. And the trees and the impact on the environment on the earth has been so significant because of these trees before deforestation. These are considered the lungs of the planet, what we're doing down there. This is a war against the entire earth that people, for economic reasons, or impulse, or ignorance, or to get elected for power, would literally compromise the entire planet's supply of air. We have these people over here destroying them. And when you burn down a forest, you release all those carbon emissions. So not only are you reducing the lungs to produce the air, you're increasing the carbon dioxide emissions into the air. You know, if you want to start a war, that's where you start a war. I'm sorry, I'm a peace person, but we should be down there full feet saying, with 10 other nations at least, stop what you're doing. And we should have an or else. Do we care about fighting in Taiwan? No. Should we care about saving the earth? I think so. But we're not doing that. You may remember when Ronald Reagan ran for office, he was talking about and against trees. And his press secretary at the time, when he was on the plane, looked out the window and shouted jokingly, "Killer trees," because that's what Reagan and his ignorance believed. And Reagan was an ignorant president. I have never understood how people could be devoted to him, or Bush, or a whole bunch of other people. I think that by itself should be part of your test to be admitted to higher education. Because if you don't get these things, you're not going to get anything in this world. A good example recently, an ongoing tragedy, is the flooding in Kentucky. There's a debate on what to do. The Democrats are not doing what they need to do. And there was a columnist today talking about it in the Post, and he was saying that given a choice between the people and the party, I'm going to stand by the people, which is another way of saying that some issues cannot be counters in log rolling, exchanging favor for favor, because they're too important. They have too much of an impact. I think people dying and losing their homes and being put at risk because of a flood is something that the party should be on the side of the people, and when they're not, they should take them on. Now, you've seen this is a theme of mine. I believe through all the tragedies of my life on a political level that I've observed as a young man and as I've grown longer in the tooth, that what we see is the people often are the corrective factor to the weakness, the spinelessness of elected officials and appointed officials and the newsmakers and the opinion leaders. And we, in the end, are the ones that bear the brunt of their bad decisions, sometimes of their neglect, sometimes of the neglect of critical issues like, say, the environment. 10 years from now, who is going to be free of flood or fire? Who's going to want for water and food? Well, I think it'll be a lot if it's only 10 years. I think it'll be a lot. So, what am I saying? Same thing I've been saying all along. Find your local Democratic candidate, vote for him, get others to vote for him, get people to the polls, get absentee ballots. Because the party in its imperfection has got two battles before we then take on the party. We win, we do everything we can to win the midterms so we can win the election in 2024. And then we kick out of Congress every wasted politician who doesn't have our interests at heart. And we're not going to have some neutral party. We're going to have a party that stands for something. Yang, I don't know what his game is, but he has the forward party. which is really, I guess, just a personal vehicle for him to have 7 days on TV. That's not what we're about. We talk to change, to have effect. We don't just talk to hear ourselves. And that's what we're working for. And that's what we'll achieve if we keep at it. Because they do hear us. They hear us enough, for example, in the Department of Justice to put on a show for us. 2 subpoenas out of Arizona, 2 Vice President aides appear before the grand jury. But where is the punch? Where is the charge? Where is the draft indictment? What do they say to us? Oh, we don't have the resources. Are you kidding me? We spend billions on the most crazy bullshit in the world, and we can't get rid of the people that endangered our entire democracy. So, as I stand here in the rainy cathedral of trees, I hope you're having a good day, and I hope we can make a difference for the better in the weeks and months ahead. All the best. Bye-bye.